My girlfriend posted, "Taking applications, single for the summer," while we were still together. I commented, "Application denied." Then, I changed my status to single and tagged her mom. The post vanished within minutes. The post that blew up my life appeared on a Wednesday afternoon. I was in a hotel room in Chicago, wrapping up a 3-day conference for my software company. It was the last session, a painfully boring talk on cybersecurity, and I was doing what every other person in the room was doing, mindlessly scrolling through social media. And then, I saw it. It was a picture of my girlfriend, Maya, on a rooftop bar back home. She was wearing a new dress I didn't recognize, holding a cocktail, and laughing at the camera with a group of her friends. We'd been together for 3 years, living together in a house I owned for the last 2. I loved her, or at least I loved the person I thought she was. The picture was stunning. The caption, however, was a tactical nuke aimed directly at my life. It read, "The nights are getting longer, and so is my list of requirements. Taking applications, single for the summer, #HotGirlSummer." I read it once, then twice. I zoomed in on the photo, looking for some clue, some sign that it was a joke. An inside reference I wasn't getting. But there was nothing. It was just a bold public declaration that the woman I was in a committed, long-term relationship with was advertising her availability to the entire world, while I was 3 states away on a work trip. A strange thing happened. I didn't feel a hot rush of anger or a wave of crushing sadness. I felt a profound, almost surgical coldness settle over me. It was the same feeling I get at work when a server crashes and everyone is panicking. The chaos fades away and all I see is the problem, the code, and the precise, logical steps needed to fix it. Maya's post wasn't a cry for help or a joke. It was a vulnerability in my life's operating system, and my job was to patch it, permanently. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I just acted. My fingers moved with a calm, deliberate purpose. I went to her post, which was already racking up likes and thirsty comments from guys I'd never seen before. I typed out my own comment, short and brutally efficient. "Application denied." I hit post. Then I went to my own social media profile. My relationship status had said, "In a relationship with Maya Peterson for 3 years." I clicked edit, scrolled down, selected single. I saved the changes, but I wasn't done. I knew that just breaking up wasn't enough. Maya's entire life was curated for an audience. Her biggest fear wasn't losing me, it was losing control of the narrative. She would paint me as the jealous, controlling boyfriend who couldn't take a joke. I needed to preemptively dismantle her story before she even had a chance to write it. I found a picture on my phone from the first day of my conference, one of me and my colleagues at a nice dinner. I looked happy, professional, completely unaware that my relationship was being publicly dissolved 1,000 miles away. I posted it, and then I wrote my own caption. "Having a great time in Chicago. Big things on the horizon. Also, excited to be starting a new chapter in my personal life. Sometimes you don't realize you're single until social media tells you. Looking forward to my own summer of freedom." And then the final, surgical strike. I tagged her mother. Maya's mom, Carol, is a sweet, deeply traditional woman who believes that appearances are everything. She's the head of her church's social committee. Her greatest joys in life are her prize-winning roses and her belief that her daughter was in a stable, respectable relationship with a good man. Tagging her was like launching a precision missile into the heart of Maya's support system. I put my phone down on the hotel nightstand. The speaker at the conference was still droning on about firewalls. I felt nothing, just a quiet, focused calm. It took less than 5 minutes. My phone started to buzz. A text from Maya. "Take that down now." Then another. "What is wrong with you? Why would you tag my mother?" Then a phone call. I silenced it. Then another text. "It was a joke for engagement, you psycho. You're humiliating me." I picked up my phone and went back to her profile. The post was gone, vanished, as if it had never existed. But the damage was done. The screenshot was already saved on my phone. Her phone calls kept coming, one after another, frantic and furious. I let them all go to voicemail. I didn't need to hear her voice. Her actions had been loud enough. She had wanted to be single for the summer. I had just processed her application and approved it, effective immediately. She just wasn't going to like the terms and conditions. Update 1. It's been a week since what my friends are now calling the application. The fallout has been exactly as chaotic and satisfying as I'd anticipated. Thank you all for the support and the hilarious comments. I flew back from Chicago the next day. I didn't text or call Maya. I just turned my phone off. I knew she'd be at the house, waiting for an ambush. I needed to control the terrain. So before I went home, I made 2 stops. First, I went to a locksmith and had a full set of new, high-security locks in the back of my car. Second, I went to my lawyer's office. I wanted to make sure every single one of my next moves was legally bulletproof. Since my name is the only one on the deed and the mortgage, he confirmed that as a non-married partner, she was a tenant at will. My public social media post and her subsequent admission that she was joking about being single was more than enough grounds to terminate that tenancy. I finally rolled up to the house around 6 p.m. Maya's car was in the driveway. As I walked to the front door, she threw it open. Her face was a mess of tear-streaked makeup and pure rage. "Where have you been?" she screamed. "I've been calling you for 24 hours. You have humiliated me. My mother is having a meltdown." I walked past her into the house, my suitcase rolling behind me. "Did she not like my post?" I asked calmly. "You're an evil, vindictive child," she yelled, following me. "It was a joke. All the girls were doing it. It was about female empowerment. You took it and you twisted it and you made me look like a fool." I stopped in the living room and turned to face her. "No, Maya," I said, my voice low and steady. "You made yourself look like a fool. You publicly disrespected me and our relationship for a handful of likes. You announced to the world that you were available. The only thing I did was believe you." "I'm not available," she cried, the tears starting up again. "I love you. It was just a stupid caption. You're going to throw away 3 years over a caption?" "I'm not throwing it away." "You did," I said. "You just didn't have the guts to do it to my face. So you did it where it matters most to you, online. Well, congratulations. Your post went viral in a way. You're single now. Your things are in the guest room. I want you out by the end of the weekend." The look of shock on her face was profound. She genuinely thought this was a fight we would have, and then I would apologize for overreacting and things would go back to normal. She had no concept of permanent consequences. "You can't kick me out," she stammered. "I live here. I have rights." "No, you don't," I said. "You have things, and you have until Sunday at 5 p.m. to move them. After that, I'm changing the locks." The argument devolved from there. She screamed, she cried, she bargained, she swore she would never do it again. But the entire time, she never once gave a real, genuine apology. She was sorry she got caught. She was sorry I had humiliated her, but she wasn't sorry for doing it in the first place. The best part was the ongoing drama with her mother. Carol had apparently called Maya, read her the riot act, and then demanded to see the original post. Someone had sent it to her. The public nature of the disrespect, and the fact that I, the stable, respectable boyfriend, had been the one to call it out, had completely shattered Carol's image of her perfect daughter. For the first time, it seemed, Maya wasn't able to spin the story to make herself the victim. She spent the next 2 days packing, alternating between sullen silence and bursts of furious yelling. I just stayed in my office with the door closed, working. Every time she tried to start another argument, I just repeated the same phrase, "You have until Sunday at 5 p.m. On Sunday afternoon, a rental van pulled up, driven by her very unhappy-looking father. They loaded her things in near silence. As she was about to leave, she made one last desperate play. "So that's it," she said, her voice full of fake emotion. "You're just throwing me away? What about our trip to Greece this summer?" "Ah, yes, the trip. A 3-week, island-hopping vacation we had been planning for a year. A trip I had already paid for in full. Non-refundable." "Don't worry about it," I said. "I've already got it handled." She thought that was a sign of hope. A small, smug smile touched her lips. She thought I'd cancel it, or maybe even beg her to still go. She has no idea. My best friend, a guy who's been telling me for a year that Maya was bad news, has already cleared his schedule. His application for a summer travel buddy was approved. Update 2. It has been a month since Operation Hot Girl Summer implosion. The silence in my house has been glorious. Thank you again for the overwhelming support. It seems a lot of you have dealt with a Maya in your own lives. After she moved out, the reality of her new single life seemed to hit her hard. She moved back into her parents' house, into her childhood bedroom. Her attempts to reclaim the narrative online were a complete disaster. She tried to post a vague, tearful video about toxic relationships and men who can't handle a strong, independent woman. The comment section was brutal. Dozens of people, including some of our mutual friends, referenced her original post. Didn't this start because you announced you were single while you had a boyfriend? Strong and independent is one thing, disrespectful is another. Hack, application denied, started trending under her post. She deleted the video within a few hours. Then came the legal threats. I received a letter from a lawyer she had somehow managed to retain. It was a masterpiece of delusional entitlement. It claimed I had committed public defamation by commenting on her post and tagging her mother. It demanded a public apology and a cash settlement of $50,000 for emotional distress and damage to her brand. I forwarded the letter to my own lawyer. He literally laughed on the phone. We sent back a very simple reply. It included a copy of the deed to my house, a screenshot of her original single for the summer post, and a polite note explaining that truth is an absolute defense against defamation. We also included a bill for the cost of changing the locks and having the carpets professionally cleaned to remove the scent of her entitlement. We never heard from that lawyer again. The real fun, however, has been the Greece trip. As I mentioned, I invited my best friend Dave. We left 2 weeks ago. For 3 weeks, we have been living the life Maya had planned for herself, but without the constant need to take selfies and complain about the lighting. We went to Santorini, Mykonos, Crete. We hiked, we went sailing, we ate incredible food. It has been, without a doubt, the best vacation of my life. And I've been documenting it. Not excessively. Just one good, well-composed photo every few days on my social media. A picture of me and Dave on a boat with the stunning blue Aegean Sea behind us. A picture of the two of us at a restaurant, laughing over a bottle of wine. A picture of the view from our hotel in Santorini, the one she had spent months picking out. My captions were simple and positive, making some unforgettable memories. Greece is a little slice of heaven. So grateful for good friends and new adventures. I never mentioned her. I never referenced the breakup. But I didn't have to. Every single one of our mutual friends, and I'm sure Maya herself, saw those posts. They saw me in the exact locations she had been dreaming of, having the time of my life with someone else. I wasn't just surviving the breakup, I was thriving in spite of it. I had taken the future she threw away and was enjoying it without her. The news from back home has been filtering in through friends. Maya is apparently miserable. She sees my posts. Her parents are reportedly sick of her moping around the house. Her hot girl summer has consisted of arguing with her mom and trying to rebuild her shattered online image. She tried to organize a trip with her friends to a cheap, all-inclusive resort in Mexico, but it fell through because no one wanted to pay for her. She thought her social media post was a power move, a way to have her cake and eat it too. She wanted the security of our relationship while publicly advertising for something better. She fundamentally misunderstood the nature of our relationship. It wasn't a brand partnership. It was built on respect. And the moment she burned that respect to the ground for a few likes, the entire structure came down with it. Final update. I'm writing this final chapter from my back porch, watching the sunset. It's been 6 months since I first saw that infamous social media post. My life is quiet, it's peaceful, and it's entirely my own. The Greece trip was a turning point. It washed away the last lingering feelings of anger and replaced them with a profound sense of freedom. The story of Maya's downfall has become a local legend in our social circle. Her attempt to be an influencer backfired in the most spectacular way possible. Her brand, which was built on a foundation of fake authenticity, was exposed as just fake. The single for the summer post wasn't just a betrayal, it was a catastrophic business decision. She lost all her credibility. Last I heard, she's working as a receptionist at a dental office, a job her father got for her. Her social media is now mostly pictures of her parents' dog. Her mother, Carol, actually sent me a short, handwritten card a couple of months ago. It was an apology. She apologized for her daughter's behavior and for not seeing it sooner. She said she hoped I was happy. It was a classy move, and I appreciated it. I never replied, but I was glad she understood. The most satisfying part of this entire ordeal wasn't loud or dramatic. It was the quiet, methodical dismantling of her entire worldview. Maya believed that her online persona was more valuable than our real-life relationship. She believed she could control the narrative, that she could make a public spectacle of our relationship with no consequences. My revenge was simply to take her at her word and apply real-world consequences to her digital actions. I commented, "Application denied," not just to her post, but to her entire philosophy on life. Her application to treat me with disrespect? Denied. Her application to use my life and my resources to build her fake brand? Denied. Her application to have a stable, loving partner while publicly auditioning his replacements? Denied. 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 I ran into her once about a month ago. I was at a grocery store on a Saturday morning. She was in the checkout line ahead of me, buying a sad-looking microwave dinner and a bottle of cheap wine. She looked normal. The influencer glow was gone. She was just a regular person, looking tired and unhappy. She saw me, and for a second, a flicker of the old, arrogant anger flashed in her eyes. But it was gone in an instant, replaced by a look of pure, defeated humiliation. She just turned away and refused to look at me again. I didn't say a word. I just paid for my groceries and left. There was nothing left to say. I had already said everything that needed to be said with a few clicks of a button. She wanted to be single for the summer. I just made sure she got exactly what she wished for. And from the looks of it, her summer never ended. And mine is just getting started.